and footage that real people took in real time. So keep your eyes open. If you come across something good, shoot me an email or find me on Facebook or Twitter. I'm everywhere. Instagram, and just let me know. Send me a link. Lawrence writes, I wonder if slaves felt they didn't need Nat Turner, ? Probably at first, but history tells us that was important. Keisha writes, CNN is reporting that 3 suspects are in custody and 1 is dead. I cannot wait to see these suspects. I can't wait to see them. If these suspects are white men, are they going to come out and say that they were associated with Black Lives Matter? That will be interesting. That would be interesting. Here's what I'm also here to tell you, and it sounds unbelievable that it's true. I have read of at least 2 attempts during the Obama administration of assassinating him, but not just assassinating him, but assassinating and causing chaos in a way that would start a race war or a civil war. I know that sounds like something out of a James Bond scenario, something off of television, but in fact, it is true. I've read those headlines. There were some young men who were, they were trained by America's military. And they actually killed one of their co-conspirators and their girlfriend in an effort to keep them silent about an attempt to kill and assassinate President Obama and a whole lot of other people in Congress. They were going to use their military training and try to start some kind of take back their country or something like that. Now, I know that sounds strange, but that's facts. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. These things have happened. If, in fact, we find out that these perpetrators are white men, is it some type of plot to destabilize the country, to cause friction under which or that may give them cover for some other nefarious means or outcome or scenario? I don't know. I'm spitballing here. I'm spitballing with you. I don't know. Jill writes, speaking of the NRA, that's National Rifle Association, why weren't they having press conferences condemning the Popo for shooting a person executing their Second Amendment rights? That's a damn good question, Jill. That is an excellent question. Great flow. It's a damn good question. Listen, we may not have all the answers, but we got some damn good questions. You know what I'm saying? We got some damn good questions. It's a really good question. I've often thought that myself about the NRA. Brent writes, government setup, ? Reggie writes, this all has to be scheduled, Nate. Just keep your head down, sit back and watch it all play out. I'm with you on that one. Kiki writes, hell, for all we know, it could very well be their own fellow officers taking out the crooked cops in their own department. Freen writes, hey, good morning, Freen. Good to see you. Freen writes, I think it's odd that this happened right after the Minnesota shooting. This story is going to overshadow Minnesota. Then Freen writes, good morning. Keith writes, hey, Nate checking in. Something smells fishy. Police probably were at top of buildings. Sniper okay, just like Boston. FBI were doing field exercises that day. Craig writes, Nate, I think you're onto something. If the snipers were black, their faces would be plastered all over the media. White males did it, or foreigners. Maybe it's ISIL. But don't be surprised if we never see who committed these senseless murders, because it's a matter of national security. Watch the setup. Could be. Deanna writes, here is an article identifying the officers in Minnesota. Okay, I didn't even see that, Deanna. I went looking for it myself, but thank you very much. Another good thing about what we're doing on the Spreaker Network is that not only can we interact with one another and see at least an image of one another, then you can also, see if you want to send a link, you can easily send a link and we can all click on it. Matter of fact, I'm going to click on it now. And it takes me right to it. Very, very sad. Philando. I never met a brother named Philando, but hey. See what else. Angela writes, Joe Walsh posting inflammatory tweet. This is now war, and real America is coming after you, huh? Joe Walsh. What? Joe Walsh. Let me go to this man's Twitter. He did what? And who the hell is Joe Walsh? Now he writes, I wasn't calling for violence against Obama or anyone. Obama's words and Black Lives Matter deeds have gotten cops killed. Time for us to defend our cops. What did he say exactly? He must have said something. Former congressman. Oh, he was a radio host. Okay, sorry about that. The new voice of freedom. Oh, okay, I wasn't hip to him. Joe Walsh. Oh, he's an American. Okay, I got you. That's his shtick. I ain't mad at you, Joe. Do your thing, bro. I'm not sure what he said. Let me go backwards and see if I can figure it out. Probably said something dumb. Obama, let me tell you this. Obama did not get anybody killed. The president of the United States did not get anybody killed. Okay. Oh, Joe Walsh warns cop hater Obama. What? To watch out. This is no war. Okay. In another tweet, Walsh suggested that the president's rhetoric about recent police shootings of unarmed African-American men might have led to the sniper attacks, which killed 4 Dallas officers and injured 7 others and 1 civilian. Really? How does that work? So you're telling me somebody said, you know what? The president is right. The president is right. These officers are wrong to kill that man who I didn't know. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do some sniper stuff down in Dallas. Is anybody hip to the irony here? Didn't we lose a president in Dallas to a snipers? It wasn't just 1 sniper, 2 snipers. Yes. And now here we are again, same city, same similar scenario. Snipers in Dallas. And I think whenever there's something like a president that dies or something that's really traumatic, like I wasn't alive, but from what I gather, in certain circles, it was pretty traumatic, the fact that JFK was assassinated during his presidency. That was traumatic for a lot of people. That's what I gather. Some black, some white. And so that is sort of ingrained in the history of the American psyche. Those feelings are still there. So now here we go again, 2016. And yet there's another shooting in Dallas by snipers, officials, or representatives of the government. Hold on, let me see. JFK assassination. What month was JFK assassinated? Oh, it was in November. It was in November. Okay, so not the same month. Very interesting. Woody writes, Philando's fiance is on CNN. The 4-year-old is in graduate preschool today. So sad. Yeah, that child is going to be traumatically affected. I believe that at the very least, law enforcement should pay for those medical bills at the very least. Philando Castile was a part of the Public and Law Enforcement Employees Union Local 320. How ironic. Wow. Crystal writes, he has since deleted that tweet. Crystal writes, essentially, he said the race war is on. Black Lives Matter and Obama should watch out. This is a white male who is saying this. How irresponsible. He's a former congressman. But in some circles, he's going to get a lot of clicks. He's going to get a lot of play. So advocating violence on black people can make you popular in the country? Mila writes, Joe Walsh said, watch out, Obama. Watch out, Black Lives Matter punks. Real America's coming after you. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that, Joe. So now I got to look over my shoulder for Joe and Real America. All right. Thank you, Joe. This is nuts. Listen, we need to figure out, how do we take these tragic events? How do we learn from these tragic events to make us safer? So that when people are in public places, they can feel some sort of security. How can we learn from these events to prevent the next black man from being backed down and being shot by officers? Now, I don't care if it's training. I don't care if there's firings. I don't care if there's a revolution, or a radical revolution, an upheaval of the way law enforcement recruits and trains those who become law enforcement officials. I'm not sure what it is, but can't we take this opportunity to do that? I mean, it's real easy to try to talk about principles when everything's going right. when everything's perfect. But that's not my style of leadership. My style of leadership is that when things get tense, when tempers are flaring, when the moment has never been bigger, that's when you hold on to your principles and what we're supposed to be standing about, right? We need to be, Dr. King should have said, he had to have said something that we can recite and draw upon at this particular moment. He had to have said something. Hakeem writes, and like the Minnesota governor, Obama need to say the same. That would be interesting. If Obama said that, it would trigger, potentially, it could trigger a revolt among the ranks of law enforcement across the nation. It could do that. Jericho writes, don't be surprised if the snipers are killed without releasing of their names and photos. Well, somebody, hold on, let me see. Let me go back to the online real quick. I'll leave you with this. Suspects. Let me see. In custody. In custody. All right. Let me see what's out there, so I can give you up-to-the-date information. I want to see if I can confirm what people have already said. It's being reported by Market Watch, or whatever they are. Dallas sniper attack. Police shootout with suspect ends with 3 in custody. I'll tell you what I like to do, though. Whenever there's something like this, I like to go straight to that particular city and look at the news that's been reported actually from the city. Okay. And right now I'm on Dallas Morning News. And let me see, whatever comes up, it's a little bit slow here. It'll come up in a second. And when it does, I'll give you an update if there's anything to update you on. Ms. D. Wright said, no one thought the DC sniper would be black either. Could go either way. Could be. Don't say that, Ms. D. If the perpetrators or any of them are black, I will be surprised. I would be surprised. I mean, because for a black man, that's a death sentence. We're talking about Texas, right? They do have the death penalty in Texas, right? These individuals are going to go through this process extremely fast. You can express that. Extremely fast. And if they confess, even faster. See, Dale writes, plus it happened in Texas, which is a heavily breeding ground for these militia groups. He wrote breathing ground, but it's really breeding ground for these militia groups. Yeah, I'm with you. I've heard that as well. That's my opinion as well. Now, is it based on any facts other than the stuff I got from the media? No, but that's the way I perceive it as well. Could this be a militia sort of operation to drive a wedge between the police and the black community? I mean, if you're smart about it and you wanted to cause chaos, that would be a good Fisher point. There is a wedge naturally due to the years of oppression, Jim Crow laws, brutality, racism, et cetera, et cetera. There is a schism between the black community and police already off the top. And now that people are being vocal about being brutalized by police, Black Lives Matter, for whatever reason, that drove some people crazy. I mean, they hated it. Black Lives Matter. What do you mean black? All lives matter. Blue lives matter. I mean, I was amazed at just how enraged people that support law enforcement really have become about Black Lives Matter. I don't understand it. But it is what it is. Rhonda writes, yes, late. Yes, I made it. Good morning, Chop Shop. She wrote Chip Shop, but she meant Chop Shop. Yeah, Angela writes, who is real America? Yeah, great. Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, right. Who is real America? You mean white America? Real white America? Well, yeah, that's a good question, Joe. Who is real America? Is that how he brands his audience, real America? That's very exclusionary. That's very exclusionary. We are living in the last days of common sense, my friends. We are living in the last days of common sense. You got brothers that's being unjustly identified. He turns himself into the police. Turns his own self into the police. And this is how he's dealt with. They think he's a suspect. How often does that happen? that somebody is a sniper and you kill 5 officers, try to kill a dozen. They tried to kill a dozen.